It may not be October, but Halloween has definitely come early this year. Yes! And welcome back to the dissection table. Here we take the latest video game, trailers, comics, movies, and more and break them down bit by bit. And oh man, we got a lot to cover this week. So many brand new trailers, new game announcements, and so much more. But this Monday, we're kicking things off with something we've been waiting for a very long time. That being finally, at long last, Absolute Batman issue 19. Yes, Scarecrow has made his first appearance and his first move right here in the Absolute universe. Before we get to the breakdown, don't forget, if you're new to the Asylum and you need to get caught up on all of the issues of Absolute Batman in the Absolute universe, don't forget you can scroll right here on the TikTok link of the Asylum, or rather than scrolling through all those hundreds of videos, you can check out the LinkedIn tree right here on the TikTok homepage right here, and that link will lead you to not only the Twitch wing of the Asylum, where I stream every Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, but you'll also find a link that'll lead you to the YouTube wing of the Asylum, where you'll find a dedicated playlist of all the videos I've made right here on TikTok covering every issue of Absolute Batman. So now, without further ado, here we go. Absolute Batman issue 19. Finally! Easily one of my favorite openings to any issue when it comes to Absolute Universe, because it kicks off like a horror story. It's just an average, ordinary day. Fucking burnt. They're out here working the field. They've been buddies for over 20, 30 years now. And all of a sudden, walking out from the whole entire crop field and everything comes Scarecrow. Now, these guys take one look at him, at this guy, Scarecrow. He's not supposed to be out here. He's not a farmhand or a farmer or anything like that. They confront him and they're like, geez, look at his face. Relax, Burn. It's just a mask. You probably got it from that Party Central shop. And Scarecrow's like, you know what? You got me. That's where I got this. And they ask him, what are you doing out here? I'm just out here for a walk. And calm down, gentlemen. We're all friends. And Burn, you guys, y'all been friends for over 30 years. I mean, you, by the way, Buck, you're also his buddy's wife. It's a hell of an accusation. Obviously, Buddy gets upset. What do you mean my buddy is getting a little too familiar with my wife? Is this one of them internet pranks? And Scarecrow's just teasing this guy along. He's like, bravo, you got it. Just a little internet prank. Definitely not because there isn't actual evidence on your phone. He takes one look at his phone, and he's like, oh my God. Just FYI, I have to spoil this right here. We don't get full confirmation of how Scarecrow is going about manipulating people. But obviously, I think it's safe enough to assume that some type of chemical agent is at play here, because one of these two farmhands, these guys right here, he starts coughing up a storm all of a sudden. And obviously, there's some type of mist being sprayed and released into the air by Scarecrow here. But again, no solid confirmation. But moving on, emotions fly high, and all hell starts to break loose. These friends who've been friends, again, for over 30 years. Now, one has completely turned against the other and has gone seemingly completely psychotic. And again, all hell starts to break loose. One starts to chase the other. He's starting to beat the crap out of the other. And for whatever the reason, all of these crows that seemingly followed Scarecrow are getting torn to pieces by probably what is a pilot who's seeing something that is absolutely terrifying. But then things continue to escalate. He beats the crap out of his own friend, leaves him unable to even stand on his feet, let alone run, starts up this whole entire tractor right here, and yeah. And Scarecrow's just smiling ear to ear. And it's kind of like, maybe this isn't a mask. A Buck exits the whole entire trailer, and his emotions are now seemingly dying down, kind of like whatever he was under the influence of is now beginning to very quickly dissipate just as quickly as it hit him. And now he exits the trailer, the tractor and everything. He's like, yeah, take that. And he's like, oh God, what have I done? Now Buck right here, he's in full panic mode. He's like, mister, we could still save him. I'll scoop up what's left. Call an ambulance. And Scarecrow's just standing off to the side. He's like, how about a plane? And after Vern gets got, so does Vern as well. The plane, again, the pilot probably under the influence of whatever the hell Scarecrow is using, comes down, and yeah, we lose both of these beautiful farmers immediately just like that. And Scarecrow, still smiling ear to ear. That's just a casual Monday, apparently, for Scarecrow. Now let's jump over to Gotham City, where we see Batman just absolutely tearing, just completely having his brand new fun in what is the brand new Batmobile. That's a hell of a jump, and that's a hell of a way to open a comic. All hell is officially broken loose. Batman, public enemy number one, because he has now become the shining beacon, the Dark Knight himself, and the city supports him, and obviously everybody else is against him, because obviously Batman is fighting against the corruption, and those who are corrupt, those who are in power, don't like him. So the police are out in full force, trying to stop him. Not doing pretty good either, even though as Alfred tells him, kid, you need to slow down. Why aren't you slowing down? You got all these police cars ahead of you. And even the cops are like, why isn't he slowing down? And his response, that's because I'm speeding up. He speeds up, and while the whole entire Batmobile goes airborne, goes flying around, Alfred's narrating the fact that he's came back from his little visit over to MI6, and he confirms that Batman has officially gone out an even darker path. This is Bruce Wayne. This is Batman, who has completely shut off the entire world. No friends, no family, no nothing. He is consumed by the Dark Knight, and it's a dark path he's heading down towards because it can lead people to some really not so great places in their mind. Unfortunately for the GCPD, even when this brand new Batmobile flips over onto one side, it can completely reconfigure its whole entire frame and workings and whatnot, so that this ball, essentially, that Batman sits in when it comes to this new Batmobile can still function regardless of how it lands in what position or another. Basically, this isn't just the Batmobile, it's a Bat gyro ball. But as names get suggested towards Batman, he shoots them down from what Alfred suggests to even what Harley Quinn suggests. One name apparently does stick. This isn't the Batmobile, this is the Bat Nasty. A name that seemingly actually already immediately sticks because the Red Hood gang is overhearing the entire conversation shared between their leader Harley Quinn, Alfred Pennyworth, and Batman. And as Batman heads the whole entire Bat Nasty down this alleyway, kind of like an entire crew, the Red Hood gang pulls up and immediately manages to successfully dismantle the Bat Nasty in under 20 seconds. That's fast! And again, better reinforcing the fact that this name sticks, again, the Red Hood gang even calls it the Bat Nasty. Batman's still protesting from everyone from Harley Quinn to Alfred Pennyworth. Don't call it that, but still, seemingly the name is stuck. They pack up the whole entire Bat Nasty. They give Bruce Wayne a whole entire set of, homeless clothes. Cops pull up and they're like, yo, you seen anything suspicious like, the Bat Nasty? He just points that way. So yeah. Pretty quick. This is not the only thing we've seen whenever it comes to Bruce Wayne's arsenal. He's constantly tinkering around with everything, and now that he's shut out all distractions, friends and family, everything he earns from the many different jobs he uses, and his form of employment all throughout Gotham City, he's been making all these wondrous inventions. This is only the first one we've seen. We'll probably see a hell of a lot more. But as he's leaving one job, one of those many jobs he has, and he's departing, and he's come up with no real excuses of why he wants to leave and go once again be Batman. On his way there to wherever he's heading, he actually comes across Waylon Jones. And now he's Killer Croc is seemingly gone. We got Waylon back. In case you're curious about how exactly he went from the Killer Croc monstrous form that we saw from the Arkham event a few issues back, that was explained through a shared issue between Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman. I did cover that issue, and you'll find it over on the YouTube wing of the Asylum. But right here, finally at long last, he has been kind of partially healed into a humanoid form, and they're just happy to see one another. He's absolutely elated to see Waylon Jones, that he can actually speak, that he looks more human than monstrous, even though he's still got a little bit of that Killer Croc in him. Which is just tragic, because this conversation between the two of them is very short-lived. Bruce goes on to say to Waylon, hey, you're back. And he's not really, but this amulet you got me that, turned me back into basically the closest thing to a human I can be right now, it is working, slowly. But Waylon immediately asks him, what's the plan? Bruce's response, what plan? Look, man, we're in this. We're friends. We made a pact. Me, the whole entire crew, from Edward Nygma to Oswald Cobblepot, we're all friends. We got your back. Whether you want us to be here or not, we're in this. So what's the plan? How are we going to get back at these people? And Bruce Wayne is hearing none of it. Bruce's response, there is no we. I never should have brought any of you into this. Look at what's happened to you. Look at what's happened to everybody. And I've already covered that before, of the monstrous transformations of Oswald Cobblepot, Harvey Dent, Edward Nygma. They're going to become straight up villains eventually, in some form or fashion or another. Waylon Jones seems to be the only one who's not going to go full on, supervillain mode, like true, genuine Killer Croc, but he still protests. He's like, no, we're in this, and he tells Waylon, take care of yourself, be great. This isn't going to happen. You're not helping me, Batman solo act. And he walks away, despite Waylon Jones' protests. Unfortunately, we've only got so much time whenever it comes here to TikTok, so I will have to break down issue 19 into a part 2. So if you're interested and you want to see the grand conclusion of this great comic, stay tuned, as I'll do everything I can to get part 2 released right here this Monday. Hope y'all are excited, because, man, the conclusion of this, again, this is part 1 of issue 19 of Absolute Batman. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give me a follow, like, and a comment over here, and definitely make sure you hit that follow so I can continue to keep you informed on all things video games, trailers, comics, movies, and more, and when part 2 of issue 19 does finally drop. Hopefully here today. But again, I hope y'all enjoyed, and hope to see y'all in the next one.